Welcome to our new program, 401k Real Chat. This is Fred Barstein, contributing editor for wealthmanagement.com's RPA Edge and CEO at TROW, TPSU, and 401k TV. I invite the most interesting, innovative, and impactful retirement and wealth management professionals that I know, asking them to provide open, honest, and candid answers to three important and at times difficult questions. So let's get real. Today, we have the privilege of talking with Laurel Taylor, founder and CEO at Candidly, which enables DC plan sponsors to help their employees better manage their student loan debt, which can help them to increase their potential for retirement income. Laurel previously led global sales for Google's health initiatives and is a graduate of MIT Sloan School of Management, as well as Texas State. Welcome, Laurel.
Thank you, Fred. Thrilled to be here.
Great. So we have three questions for you. First question, and we love to get people outside the industry's perspective, especially somebody from Google. There's lots of discussions about the importance of data. It's like the new oil. And, we need it to help DC participants better manage their finances and their retirement savings. Yet there's legitimate concerns about privacy. How do you think the DC industry can safely leverage participant data?
So I think it's one of the largest opportunities for the industry more broadly. And I think the key to the question, Fred, as you shared, is leveraging data. So let's assume that the entity that is holding that data is SOC Type 1, Type 2, PCI FISMA compliant. Let's ensure that it's safe. Then really, how do we leverage the data? Leveraging the data really in service of driving improved financial outcomes for the full spectrum of wellness within the workplace. What we see as kind of the biggest missed opportunity today is leveraging the data that the industry has access to in order to drive personalized outreach, which drives engagement. And then once we have a user that's engaged, we're bringing them into an elegant and easy user experience that's really informed by the need of that particular participant. So that if they have 2 minutes, we're driving financial outcomes within that time frame. I think an example of that I'll share, we were recently working with the plan sponsor who had 90% participation in their retirement plan, which at first glance, that sounds fantastic. And this was a plan sponsor with about 10,000 total employees, about 8,000 that were match eligible participating. But when we really dug into the data, what we saw was that only 50% of match eligibles were maximizing. Then when we looked deeper, we saw that 57% of employees under 40 were not maximizing. Then when we looked a little bit deeper, what we saw was, okay, well, there was a bit of an age difference, but not much. 45, those not participating or maximizing versus 47, age of 47, those are. The income was about a delta of $30,000. But when we looked at the data, what we saw is that those who had access to the plan but were not participating were 2.8 times more likely to be Black, African American, or 8% more likely to be Latino. And those who had access but were not participating at all were more likely to be female. So we're sitting on this incredible data, but it's really, the story is in the data and doing the analysis to inform the plan design and the approach.
Right. And I think what we're hearing in the consumer world is, consumers are okay sharing data as long as they get value in return,
Absolutely.
Not being solicited on things they're not interested in. There's also growing discussion about leveraging AI, especially to help underserved DC participants that may not have access to a financial advisor, although a lot of financial advisors are looking at AI as well. How do you see AI and ChatGPT being leveraged within the DC industry?
Well, I think it's really exciting. There are a few areas that ChatGPT is not great at, and Dr. Shlomi Benartzi had actually a great article in the Wall Street Journal about it. But when we think about ChatGPT out of the box as a financial advisor, it's not great at math. It's pretty inconsistent. You can ask the same question, get different results, and actually, research shows that it can suffer. AI can also suffer from some biases. So out of the box, not great. However, if we combine the underlying technology of large language models and we couple that with portfolio optimization, that is a really exciting opportunity. And it enables scale and scale, personalization and scale. And so as we think about uh, the population that could most benefit from personalization at scale, we think about those locked out of financial advice, kind of locked out of the traditional benefit stack. So it does enable the industry to scale personalization for populations like low income, those that are indebted. And it's actually great at empathy. So there was a recent medical study that found that responses of ChatGPT to patient inquiries were 10 times more likely to be more empathetic than humans. And so when we think about those that are not served well by the financial services industry today, being able to do so efficiently and with empathy is really a huge opportunity.
Sounds like a whole new business model and industry, something that underserved with empathy at scale and personalization, which is a lot. So finally, tell us a little bit about what Candidly is doing around student loans, especially since the Secure 2.0, and how ancillary services like this are helping to boost engagement. Because, one of the issues we hear is from advisors and record keepers, well, it's great to have student loans, but there's no real like obvious immediate revenue opportunity, although engagement isn't exactly money, but it's very, very valuable. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing around all these things.
It is a period of great transformation as a result of Secure 2.0, which is really exciting. And when I think about serving those who have student debt, it is 70% of those coming uh, out of our education system. So as we think about being millennial dominant already, having 75% of our workplace millennial centric by 2025, we are the demographic, as we know, we have 5 different cohorts of workers within the workplace today, but this is not a minority issue. It's a majority issue where the vast majority of the workplace is coming into the workplace with student debt. And it also includes parents, by the way. Student debt, it's a very distracting term. It's mom debt, it's dad debt, it's spousal debt, it's household debt. So previously, prior to Secure 2.0, I think thinking about student debt as ancillary, and as part of a financial wellness program made sense. Now it's really center stage, where student debt is a blocker to retirement savings, and that is demonstrated by the data. It's the number one reason those who have access to a plan don't participate. 80% pay down their debt first, then save for retirement. Oops, just missed out on 10 to 15 years of compound interest. We're moving from it being a blocker into a booster. And I want to get more specific about that because I think that's the number one opportunity for your audience to take away from this conversation, which is Secure 2.0 and the ability for plan sponsors to offer a retirement match for the population making student loan payments is an opportunity to bring 47 million net new participants into the plan and or maximize. So what I've learned in working with record keepers in the industry is the term student debt, and it's had kind of a long history. So incredibly knowledgeable subject matter experts hear student debt and they just think about dollars going to debt. Secure 2.0 actually means that as the participant pays down their debt, the plan sponsor sends that retirement match to the retirement plan, and the goal is for it then to benefit from decades of compounding interest. So the dollars stay in the retirement savings plan as a result of a student loan payment. Now, when we look at the data, if a participant was working for a plan sponsor who offered a match for just 50% of their loan pay down, which is about 20 years, they would have $450,000 at the time of retirement. That's assuming a nominal return of 8%. That's 4 times what boomers have today. So I think really there is an opportunity to kind of flip this on its head and say, well, is offering a student loan retirement match going to drive revenue? It's going to drive engagement. It's going to drive net new participants, net new assets under management, net new fees for the participants now participating in the plan. It's going to help those not maximize. And it is a way of engaging non-highly compensated executives as well into the plan.
Right.
So, that's, I think really now it's center stage to an entire retirement strategy for a plan sponsor.
Right. It's also important in a world of the war for talent, for recruiting and retention. If the employee feels, wow, they're really helping me. I had a friend, I was explaining this, and they're like, why would an employer do this? What's in it for them? And if you feel like, they don't have to, but they're helping me, you're going to feel a lot better and less likely to leave. So, well, anyway, that's all the time we have today. I've been talking with Laurel Taylor, founder and CEO at Candidly. It's a great company, and we're so grateful and eager to have Laurel part of our industry. It's very important for us. So thanks for joining today, Laurel.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and thank you for watching wealthmanagement.com's RPA Fast Chat.